Alright, hey, what's going on, Freedomers? Alright, so I'm at the gym, but that's better. I'm at the gym, and I want to share an idea with you that I learned today. But I'm gonna first say this. An ex-best friend told me we was having this little debacle, and sometimes I understand the frequency we were different. And she said to me a situation. She said, "Who would you rather be friends with? Your friend who brings you money, your friend who has plenty, and let's say you're in a bad situation and can bail you out because they have an abundance of it, or would you deal with the person, or the person who's more valuable, the person who's abundant, who can give you a bailout of the situation temporarily, or the person who is giving you their last dollar?" And as I raised my vibration, I realized when she told me the person who gives you the last is more valuable because he's doing it from their heart, not the truth. Because the person who's affluent, who has it to give, vibrationally, you want to hang around them. Because depending on what they do, they can help you raise your vibration so you're no longer in lack. But if all you depend on is the person who is in lack like you, who's giving them, who's running paycheck to paycheck, let's say, and is giving you their last, that person is not as valuable. Because I've learned broke people operate in survival. They steal. They're less generous. And if push comes to shove, they'll kill you for their survival. And when you have it to give, you're not thinking like that. Now, of course, you can, and that doesn't mean that the rich person can't do that, but it's less likely if an affluent person is going to hurt you or fuck you over, especially if their integrity is intact. A poor person can put you in position. The poor person can't put you in position to do anything. A rich person a poor person can put you in a lateral position, and a wealthy person can probably put you in an upswing. Whether they hire you, they mentor you, whatever. And now it comes to income producing learning and income producing activity. Why did I just say that's important? Because when you're around, that's actually great instinct. When you're around poor people, they encourage non-income producing learning. And they don't encourage you to spend thousands of dollars in your education in a productive way. One of the reasons why school is going out of style, because school is non-income producing. If you spend $40,000 on an education and you only get $60,000 a year, that's not much of profit. So one of the reasons why school it's going to become less and less relevant in the next 10 to 20 years is because everybody's going to be focusing on what's producing money. And if school is not producing money, because more people are turning on to the fact that A business is more. You could make more money. You know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy? You could make more money by the time you're 21 doing Uber and Lyft than you would go to college. Let me say that again for you. That's deep as fuck. You could make more money doing Lyft and Uber than having a college education and start multiple businesses. And college and having a driver license is an investment, but the fact that you already thinking about an investment, it wouldn't even matter to you because in the near future, people are gonna be thinking about income producing learning, income producing and non-income producing learning. School can be a very much non-income producing learning, and eventually be non-income producing activity. Because when you get into the job force with your master's degree and whatever, you working at Fridays, busting tables, pay bills. And 10 years from now, all you did was find the nearest job that could pay you, and you could rank up. And that may be a trade. That may be doing Uber because you can drive. And the craziest part about it is that's what I'm learning today. That's what I had a breakthrough with today. I was watching this course. He was talking about income producing activity and future income producing activity and non-income producing activity. And like for instance, the gym is non-income producing activity. The gym is non-income, like when you're learning, let's say you're on YouTube learning how to get fitter and all that stuff, that's non-income producing learning. And I had to understand that when you're around certain crowds of people, they're not going to encourage you to have income producing learning. And that means in the next 30 to 60 days, you can take what you learned and monetize it. And if you can, and it's something in the future activity, future learning activity, future learning income was is future learning producing future learning activity is when you're learning for something that you may be able to apply, that's like kind of like a craft, like how we put it is like 10,000 hours mark, right? But you can't do that with uh, when you're learning something that is going to take 30 days to apply. And that kind of shifted my whole perspective on learning, because usually I'd be so in the future because I would think it would take 60 days to apply this. It would take me 2 years to learn this information. When if I gobbled it down and I kept looking at it and I kept finding out how can I apply this information, then that could have been a 2-week process. There's a lot of information that I could apply and make a difference in my business in a week or two, or a couple of days, depending on how hungry I am, right? So sometimes, like let's say astrology right now, astrology would be a non-income producing activity and or non-income producing learning is um, yeah, non-income producing learning. If if I look at the astrology and I don't go make a course out of it, if I don't look at the astrology and I don't make a YouTube video out of it, out of the things I've collected, because making videos is a future activity, future income activity, uh, or future income activity. Because videos may not make you money today. Sometimes it does, right? But when we're so caught up on like this, I used to think when I was learning that it was non-income producing, and it was crazy is that absorbs so much of my time because like he said, like the guy said, if you're not making the money you want to make, usually you're spending too much time in the non, and I'm at the number 9 treadmill. You're spending too much time in the non-activity sector, and that's what I realized that about myself. Or how you can turn future income learning into non-income learning. I mean, non-income learning is by not applying the information. Because when I was on the bike ride here, Spirit was like, um, knowledge is only useful if it's applied. The only knowledge that's ever useful is the one you apply. So if you have a whole bunch of knowledge but you're not using it, it's like you should never have learned it. You might as well have not have learned it if you're not gonna use it. Because at the end of the day, we're in this world, unless you know sacred geometry, can you know how to apply calculus and trigonometry and all this other shit? You can't. So it's like you might as well have not have learned it, because you can spend your time doing activities that can bring you in income, because all the knowledge that ever matters is income. So this why it's very functional to hang around people who have many, who have more, because it will heat up your thermostat, and it will make you raise your identity of who you think you are. So, um, like I said, uh, you need to have uh, that income producing learning, because that income producing learning could benefit you in the next 2 weeks, 2 days, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days. And I had to learn, like, the reason why my learning wasn't income producing is because I wasn't applying it. So by default, the knowledge was useless. No matter how many times I bought a course, if you did not make you back money, you made it non-income producing. So you might as well, ooh, yeah, that's deep. You might as well have not bought the course. If you're not, goddamn, goddamn, goddamn. If you buy a course and I think I said that to myself earlier. If you buy a course and you make it non-income producing, you might as well have not bought it. You might as well not have had it, because you wouldn't have wasted time. Now, of course, every seed planted is always a beautiful thing, but um, you could have you just wasted time basically. So that's my tidbit on not income producing activity, income producing learning, and future income learning. Because sometimes you have to study a craft for 10 years for you to make a dent in your income change. Peace.